media content. And I'm like, man, like awesome in the macro principles, but boy, has a lot changed.
Right. Right.
And so between that and the post-COVID energy from the CMO set in Fortune 5000 land has really inspired me because what I realized during COVID was, I had hundreds of 15-minute to 2-hour Zooms with most of the Fortune 500 companies, a lot of CMOs, but a lot of like brand managers, associate brand managers, top, innovation, this head of media, that, like just like a real set. And then obviously that's the Gary Vaynerchuk part of my life. And then the Gary V part of my life, unlimited creators, starting CPG brands,
Yeah.
influencers, creators. Every entrepreneur now kind of wants to film themselves or do a podcast, chop up. Like
Right.
there's a new world order. And I would argue that we have not gone through many transitions this substantial around attention, which is obviously the currency that allows one to market in or create, change of perception at its worst, manipulate. And so we're really in a place similar to what happened when the radio went from being the primary device in our society to the television.
Yeah.
And I believe that the cell phone has now completely taken that mantle, even though many of your listeners continue to spend way too much time and energy on planning a television campaign as its starting point.
Right.
I believe that organic social media has very clearly, over the last 5 years, but especially the last 18 months, established itself as the single most important starting point for any brand positioning, marketing campaign, and just marketing.
Yeah.
And so it just became obvious to me that people are starting to take serious something I've been pontificating about for 15 years. And it itself has changed. The TikTokification of social media is here. And obviously we'll probably go into that in this interview. So,
Yeah.
I felt, intuitively I felt it was time, and I was ready to challenge myself. My last book, 12 and a half, was very philosophical, leadership, humanity, and I loved it. And I love doing that, but I love bouncing back between macro and micro.
Yeah.
This is the most textbook book I've ever written. This is the book that I most think many companies will buy one copy for every one of their employees in marketing. And honestly, as you know, more and more people are realizing almost all their employees need to know about marketing to some degree.
Right. Right.
And so I kind of feel like I had it in me, and I'm just starting to talk to humans that have skimmed it or read it, and the feedback's been overwhelming, and I feel like I might have something here. And what I mean by that is I'm proud to think I might have a viral book. And what I mean by that is people are going to realize there's a lot of meat to this, and they're going to pass it on. And so I'm hopeful and humbled and excited and was ready to write it because the details matter in being great at this. Social media marketing is the hardest marketing craft.
Yeah.
Yet most people mail it in or see it as like the 20th most important thing. Or when they do it, they think it's easy. They're like, post something and make it go viral.
Right. Right.
So, that's kind of the energy, my brother.
Yeah. Yeah. No. And I love the book for the reason you mentioned is just, as a fairly pragmatic person, I like the practical, the practical insights. And I mean, I will say, writing a book that you're still getting feedback 10 years later about stuff that moves so quickly, quite an achievement as well for the.
And honestly, at some level, I feel like it's inappropriate, which is why, like, I want